Uruguay is a pretty unusual country. For starters, it had a rather unique beginning. Our national hero, Artigas, didn't really have the intention of there being a country called Uruguay. He rallied the people from the territory in a quest for freedom and proposed legislation that was very ahead of its time. But that freedom wasn't reached in a day. It can be said that Uruguay has been a long experiment in the works. At the time of its declaration of independence, there were only 30,000 people here and 8 million cows. This truly peculiar abundance allowed for social interactions that were unusually egalitarian at the time. In the 1870s, Uruguay set up a secular, free, and compulsory education system that allowed the country to reach, in just a few years, levels of literacy that were outstanding both in the Americas and in Europe. At the beginning of the 20th century, a series of reforms turned Uruguay at the time into the most liberal state in the world. Laws were passed to introduce an 8-hour workday, freedom to unionize and to strike, vacation pay, and Social Security. Freedom of the press, a strict division of powers, and a transparent electoral system allowed for an increasingly tolerant and civilized political life. Women have been able to divorce without having to provide any legal justifications since 1913. Women actually got the right to vote in Uruguay before they did in France, Spain, or Switzerland. Since then, Uruguay has continued to pass legislation that increases the rights and liberties of its population. And what is the point of telling you this? Well, to begin with, we like to talk about what we do. We value collaboration over competition, belonging to a community, sharing goals. What unites us the most collectively is what we have achieved. For example, ranking 15th on the Global Democracy Index. Uruguay is a country of freedom and a social experiment that, for the most part, has turned out all right. Why should investors care about our social structure? This is a stable and reliable country that allows companies to get results by following clear and predictable rules. Uruguay is regarded as the most transparent state in the region, a place in which you can grow at ease because the stability of our country is based on solid historical foundations. Traceability of products has become an essential part of their value in the market. People want to make sure that the environment was not harmed in the manufacturing process of whatever they buy. Uruguay has a long-standing tradition of rational agriculture and digital monitoring of each head of cattle's health status. However, there is another kind of traceability that is even more important to us: keeping track of the human values behind every process, the social aspect of sustainability, making sure that all workers have a good public health system, that their children can attend preschool, primary, high school, university, even at postgraduate level, without having to pay for it. That every child that enters the education system receives a computer right from the moment that they start to read, and that they get free internet access in every public space in the country with the best connectivity in Latin America. We have a vibrant and creative society, a flourishing audiovisual industry, and a surprising number of artists, writers, and filmmakers. We are the country that publishes the most books per capita in Latin America and also produces many more films per person than the average of the 10 biggest film industries in the world. Uruguayan science and innovation have reached great academic relevance, even if we are still not seen as one of the countries with the highest technological potential. We are in third place worldwide in software exports per capita and the country with the highest e-government index in the region. In Uruguay, researchers routinely carry out experiments in gene editing, nanotechnology, biochemistry, neuroscience, and materials engineering that are quoted in the best scientific journals. However, investors don't always know about these achievements. Usually, people don't know that there are satellites already launched into orbit that were produced on Uruguayan soil, or that the country exports genetically modified mice to Japan, sells video games to companies in Los Angeles, or that it has become the largest caviar producer in the Southern Hemisphere. Does this mean that it is a country without issues? Not at all. There is still a long way to go in terms of equality. We strive to get a better understanding of each other. We need more innovation in every sense. And to achieve it, We also need good investments, good companies, more people with vision who are willing to set up their businesses in our country. But there is one thing that is becoming clearer every day. We are not interested in just any type of investment. In Uruguay, all these developments have taken place while the total extension of our natural forests has actually grown, and our native species coexist in harmony with agricultural production. 98% of our energy comes from renewable sources. We want to generate value from knowledge, research, and culture, and to put our creativity in the service of a more sustainable world. We are traveling to a better destiny, and we need the best companies by our side to get there. People and investments that seek to generate value, not only money. We are very few, only 3 million people, but we can accomplish great things. To learn more about our journey, please contact us. Here, there's a lot of uniqueness and experimentation to explore together. Test Uruguay. Unusual, free.